Alright, welcome back. Caleb's Temptations. We're out here in the bait lab for our regular scheduled broadcasting or filming for the YouTube video. I got another fun day planned for us. We're just going to go ahead with another mold review, which is in probably one of my top 3 or 4 favorite molds, favorite baits to fish with, stuff like that. I'll try to keep it short and sweet, but you know how that goes. We'll see what happens. That being said, like, subscribe, comment, let me know what you think. If you want to keep doing mold reviews, or if you want to go a different route, I do have a long list of planned future videos, and they are not all mold reviews. With that being said, let's just go ahead and jump into today's video. Alright, let's go ahead and see what we're working with today. You can see I do have it labeled with T for top, B for bottom, and this is the AnglingAI 4-inch atomic toad. So let's go ahead and take it open and see what it looks like on the inside. Again, this is probably one of my favorite top 2, 3, 4 baits that I like to make, like to use. It's a very, very fun bait. Alright, so to take a look, this would be the bottom half, which you can see it's got the little hook slots in there, well defined, nice little body, nice legs, good bit of detail in the legs. That's why this is labeled with a B for bottom. That way when I'm doing 2 color baits, I know which side the bottom color needs to go on. And then here's the top side. As you can see, all the little ridges and stuff, all the detail that goes into it, in the cavity. Real neat looking bait. Even got little eyeballs in the top. It's kind of hard to see here. Yeah, there you go. You can see the little eye. Yeah, so you can see the little eyeballs up here in the top. But if you wanted to, you could really go above and beyond and make different colored eyes. So let's get this sealed back up. We are going to get some plastic melted down and go ahead and get things rolling here. So what I'm thinking for today is, well, everything is going to be just remelts, stuff I got laying around out here. So we'll just try like a solid color with some chartreuse legs. We'll see how that works out. And then we'll try some laminate. See if you can laminate this bait. So again, let me know what you think when we're done, and we'll go from there. Alright, so we got a chartreuse ready to go here. And what we're going to do is we have to inject this with chartreuse first. Then we'll cut the legs off, put back in the mold, and then inject another color on top of it and see if that works. It should. Looks like it is set up to do so, or available or able to do so. So we'll try it out and see. Just for a side note, I like to keep a cup of this at all times at the workstation, just because if I get bored or not doing anything, I can always melt this down and just run some extra chartreuse bait. So when I get ready to do tails or legs or things of that nature, I have chartreuse available. So let's go ahead and fill this mold up with some plastic, just like so. And these are pretty big baits, so they drink some plastic, a lot of it. Alright, I want to top that off. Alright, and then as soon as that cools off, we'll open it up, see what it looks like. Alright, I think this is cool enough now. We can open it up, see what it looks like with just our chartreuse frogs. There we go. But yeah, check that out. Chartreuse toads, 4-inch atomic toad, which I really like the thickness of the bait. It's really thick. And it's kind of hard to tell there, but that's a pretty thick bait. It is 4 inches long, and these little legs right here give crazy action in the water. Let's go ahead and we'll take them out, try to get you a better look at it. So with the chartreuse, it's kind of hard to see exactly all the details, but you can see it's textured. It's got the little bumps and stuff on top of it. Little hook slot in the bottom. The legs, beautiful. So now what we're going to do is we're going to cut these legs off, put the legs back in the mold, and see if we can run another color on top of that. So let's see what we can come up with. So real quick, while we got our next color cooking, you can see we just took the chartreuse frog. I just took a pair of scissors and cut the legs off there, and now I have the legs placed back in the mold. So what we're gonna do now is I got another color getting ready in the microwave, and then as soon as that's ready, we're gonna inject the bodies back. And what better color to go with chartreuse than just a traditional white? So as soon as that gets ready, we'll inject these and see what it looks like. We got our mold ready with our chartreuse legs in place, just a traditional white. This was remelt from a project I was working on for an order. So let's go ahead and get this injected here. Draw us up some plastic. Alright. But it shouldn't take nowhere near as much since we already have our legs in place. Hopefully I drew up enough here. Maybe not. I might have messed this up. We'll see. Nope. This should have been just enough. Top that off. Throw our leftovers back in the cup. And as soon as this gets cool enough to open, we'll see what we get. So now that that's cooled off enough, let's crack it open and take a peek. I say this all the time, but this is just like opening presents on Christmas morning. Oh yeah, beautiful. What do y'all think? Oh yeah, still sitting in the mold. Let's go ahead and get them on out of there so we can take a better look. The chartreuse legs, white bodies, not bad looking frogs. We'll take one off and pass it around. Real thick body, so you can kind of see how thick it is right there. Real thick. I think that came out rather beautiful myself. And we got 2 of them, since it makes 2 at a time. Oh yeah, looking real good. So I'm gonna set these to the side, and then that being said, there's only one more true test that we can do with this mold. So now we're gonna see how well does it do a laminate bait. So I've got 2 colors getting ready to go, so as soon as they're ready, we'll inject our mold and see what we can get. Okay, we've got everything set up here to try our laminate bait. We've got a green color, which is kind of like a emerald green, which is a remelt left over from a another video. And then we have a white, just the solid white we used a minute ago. So the goal is to get the green on the top and the white on the bottom. So let's see if we can do just that. Let's see. Get that adjusted right there. Go ahead and get us some plastic drawn up. Alright. Both sides are ready. And then now we inject and let our blending block do the work for us. Lots and lots of plastic. Alright, So now that we're full, we're going to take that off, top off the sprue, put our leftovers back in the cups, and then with any luck, we were very successful. So we'll wait for this to cool down, and then we'll take a look at what we got. So real quick, while that's cooling, I always like to take a look at the inside of this blending block, because this is usually a pretty good indication or a telltale sign of what our bait's going to look like. See the green coming on this side, white on this side. It looks like it came out perfect. So the only way we can tell now is when we open up the mold here in just a few seconds. So now that things have cooled down, let's crack open our mold here and see what we were able to come up with. Oh yeah, beautiful. Look at that, folks. Let's see, it looks like without taking it out of the mold, I can see a little bleed over right there. You see that the white kind of bled over into the green in the top part right there. That's alright. And then looking at the legs, looks like the legs are so thin that you see a lot of the white coming through compared to the green, and I do see a little bleed over in the white into the green right there, but that's without even taking it out of the mold. So let's take it out and take a better look. Right, so real quick, just looking at this, looks like most of it did fairly decent on that side. I just had right there at the very end just a little bit of bleed over, so not the end of the world. So let's take a look at both of them and see what we can come up with. So we already looked at the top, everything looks pretty good. So let's look at this side. Everything looks to have laminated almost perfectly. I mean, you really couldn't ask for much better. I see one little, it's kind of hard to see, one little bleed over. Yeah, you can kind of see the little bleed over right there. Right there. But other than that, looks like it did it perfectly all the way down. And take a look at the other side. Anything looks like a little bit of the green bled into the white, but not bad. Not bad at all. Take a look at our other one here. So looking at the side, looks like we had a little bleed over from green to white. Looks like the legs did pretty good on that side. On the other side, looks to be pretty good. Looks like we had a little green run down into the white there. Belly looks good, top looks good. So all in all, not bad. And those little errors, if you watched my last video, they could have been from me. Maybe my material was a couple degrees off on one side or the other, which allowed it to bleed over. But you can see a little bit of bleed over right there. But still, not the end of the world. I think these come out pretty good. So let me know what y'all think. So there it is, folks. You can see everything we used today's video for the AnglingAI 4-inch atomic toad. Right there, our 3 colors. We started with our chartreuse, which you can see right here. We cut the legs off, and then we used the white, and then made some white with chartreuse legs, and then we used our white and like an emerald green color here and made our 2 color frogs. Which, let me actually flip that. There you go. That actually looks a little bit cooler there. But yeah, there you have it. There you have it, folks. Another successful mold review on the 4-inch atomic toad from AnglingAI. If you like frog fishing, topwater fishing with a frog, I suggest you pick this mold up, add it to your collection. You just seen easy to laminate, easy to make your own design, however you want it to be. With that being said, you could also even cut the legs off and like your traditional frogs you buy at the store that's got the little we call it like a skirt on the end of it. If you get one of the heating knives, you can add the skirt onto the back of the frog to make it appear that way instead of just the legs. You can put the skirt right here instead, which if that's something you're interested in seeing, let me know. We can plan another video on how to do that, or what you need to do that with, or what you can do that with. With that being said, thanks for officially watching Caleb's Temptation. See y'all next time.